Hello, my name is Kara Jones with Badland Studio, the creative minds behind Kinetic Void. Today, I'll be talking about how to use our Shipyard and the basic flight mechanics of Kinetic Void. If you're not familiar, Kinetic Void is an early release stage game available on Steam. Let's go ahead and get into creating our first game. On the main menu of our page, you can see we have a patch notes in the lower left-hand corner. This is updated each time we release an update to the game. The Options button will allow you to change the visual options of the game, including your resolution, windowed or full screen, lens effects, camera dirt, and more. To create a new game, simply click on the new icon and you'll be directed to the Galaxy Creation pane. Add the number of sectors and factions as you'd like, and give the galaxy a name. Keep in mind that you must have one sector for each faction. Once we're in the shipyard, it's time to start building our ship. Let's start off by giving it a name, which you can do so by clicking in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Next, we'll begin moving the camera around so we can face the front of the ship. To rotate your camera, right-click and drag with your mouse. If you'd like to move the ship altogether, you can do so by using the left button on your mouse and dragging. To zoom out, use the mouse scroll wheel and the S button or the greater than symbol on your keyboard. To zoom in, you can use the mouse scroll wheel, the letter W, or the less than symbol on your keyboard. Let's go ahead and start building our ship by adding a cockpit. This is located in the upper right-hand corner and is labeled C and C on the screen. To rotate a piece before you place it, go ahead and press the letters E or Q on your keyboard and it'll rotate in a 15-degree increment. To change which node is being used, press the letter R. Once the module is placed, you can right-click on it to begin adding subsystems. Subsystems are what are going to add armor, additional sensors, and other characteristics to your module. This is also how you will be adding a reactor to your hull, and engines so you can have thrust and be able to propel your ship forward. To add a hull, click the drop-down list and select a hull that you prefer. Please note that in creative mode, you will have a much larger selection of ship components. To enter creative mode, go ahead and click on the creative icon before you create your galaxy. We're going to line the hull up with the front of the ship, and then we're going to add some subsystems to the hull, including our reactor. Notice that as you mouse over any of the subsystems, you get a very brief description box. These descriptions will be increased at a later time. Next, we're going to go ahead and add an engine. This is what's going to give our ship the ability to actually maneuver through space, not just move in a straight line. With our engine in place, it's time to start adding engine boosters. To do so, we're going to be adding subsystems by right-clicking on the engine and going to Subsystem and adding in those additional components. This will give our ship the ability to pitch forward and backward, as well as move to the left and right. Our final component that we'll be adding is a weapon. In this particular case, it's going to be a Gatling gun style weapon. You can get it placed. Again, you can rotate it until it's facing a direction you prefer. and have it mounted to the ship. Next up, you can change the colors by clicking on any of the white squares at the top of your screen. You can go to the store to buy additional components for your ship. As you select them, the price will increase. Once you're done, click on Close. By clicking on the Weapons Manager, you can set up which buttons control which groups of weapons. This is especially helpful if you have multiple targets. In our gameplay, we can begin by zooming out from our ship and panning the camera around by using the left mouse button and dragging. We can pitch down by pressing the letter W and accelerate by pressing the letter R. Shift R will make us accelerate at full capacity, whereas Shift F will make us stop altogether. By pressing the letter V, you can turn on your mouse control, which will allow your ship to go in the same direction as your mouse, rather than using simple keystrokes to be able to change the direction. This is a docking station. These stations are located on each planet, so you'll have a place that you can dock, and at this point it'll take you back to your shipyard. In future updates, it will be able to give you the ability to repair your ship, accept missions, and more. In the distance, you can see an asteroid. One of the newest things that we added during our patch 0.06 is making our asteroids more noticeable. This also included changing the texture on them and adding collider effects. That means if you run into it, your ship can get damaged. It can even explode if you hit it hard enough. If you see small red triangles, those are enemy spacecraft. So you can either approach them and go into combat, or you can avoid them if you're just trying to keep your space flight as simple and peaceful as possible. In Kinetic Void, we also have the ability to employ what is called a micro warp drive. This is going to be what's going to give you a 2 million meters per second speed for any period of time. However, with one of our more recent patches, we've made you have the ability to warp to a specific location within a given distance. This brief tutorial just shows you a few of the things we've been working on here with Kinetic Void. We will be continuing to develop this game into 2014. If you have any questions or would like to contact me directly, you may do so by emailing me at Kara, that's Kara, at badlandstudio.com.